All right, what's going on, everybody? Welcome to the first episode of Refined Thoughts Podcast. It's your boy Pat. You know what I'm saying? I have a few different business ventures. Before I get into that, prior military, served in the Navy for 4 years, 2013 to 2017. I'm a bit of a financial guru, so definitely shout out to your boy if you need help setting up that portfolio. Okay, we can send you a link with Webull. As long as you deposit as little as $1, you can get up to 30 free fractional shares. So definitely tap in with your boy and get that portfolio set up. You know, I'm also into health and fitness, so definitely reach out to any of us for any type of health advice or fitness advice. And I also got a clothing brand. All right. Definitely tap into Vintage Origin Store. We're available on Instagram, and that is where I'll be dropping the latest t-shirts, hoodies, backpacks on a weekly basis. So,
yeah, that's great. That's great.
Appreciate that.
Yes,
awesome
sir.
Stuff.
Yeah, no, Mac is definitely a guru of all types. Hey, I'm Pa Nkrumah. A lot of what I do is just try to understand life and the basics and the complexities and make it as simple as possible. I am the musician of the group. I make music. You can find me on all platforms at OGM space PAA. I'm also the basketball head here, so I love basketball. Currently work at Bank of America. I'm a small business specialist. So I started off with personal finance, and I still dabble in that. And I also do small business as well. So if you need help in any areas of finance, I'm not a financial expert, but I do know tips and tricks here and there to get you off your feet. And a lot of what I do is try to help people with their goals, you know. So a lot of my enjoyment comes from understanding what makes you tick, so we can help you get there. But you know, on today's podcast, I'm just gonna be here with my brothers, and we're gonna enjoy life and explain how we think through what we be, or how we are, or who we intend to do. You know. So pass it off to my boy Jason.
Hey, welcome YouTube to our new channel. We're here to really kind of give you guys insight towards being a better person, inside and out. My name is Jason Beard. Call me Jay. I have almost 20 years experience in IT. Started out in the Air Force in 1996. Yeah, I'm an old head. Graduated early, age 17. Spent about 8 years in the military, working for Strategic Air Command, RC-135, EC-135, spy jets. Yeah, I did some of that stuff. So now, I'm helping small businesses grow by providing branding and business support software from the back end. Have a pretty strong customer base spanning from the East Coast to the West Coast. Been living in Seattle for the past 8 years and loving it. So these brothers here are giving us an opportunity to come together and provide a comprehensive group of services. But also, for right now, we're going to give you guys introspective insight on what's happening in the world, the economy, finances, and your personal well-being. So with that being said, we pass it to Pat to get into our first topic.
All right, I appreciate that, brothers, man. Like these two fellas just said, man, Pa, man, he's an expert at so many different things, man. He's a phenomenal musician, phenomenal basketball player, man. I've had the opportunity to hoop with this guy, man. Don't let this man fool you, okay?
Yeah.
This man has the heart of a giant, you know what I'm saying? Shout out to my boy Jason, man. He's he's inspired me in so many different ways, man. This guy is a guru with, technology, man. He's built up so many websites, so many brands, and he's just leading the way with innovation, man. And to say all that, man, we're going to go ahead and get into this first podcast show, and we're going to first start off by just going over self-improvement. So, Pa, man, like you just mentioned, you're a basketball player, so how would you define being dedicated to a goal, man?
I define dedication as, and you'll often find with me, I try to keep it as simple as possible.
Mm-hmm.
The best teachers are the people who can make it simple and digestible. But, even when you're the most skilled or talented at something, you still find a way to break it down to certain points. So being dedicated to me means wanting it more than you can ever think. Wanting it more than you could ever want to breathe. Because dedication is not something that you just wake up with. And it's not a consistent variable. You might be dedicated for a day, 2, 3, 4, but granted, it will wane if you're not focused on the reason behind it. And if you're just not hungry, right? Mm-hmm. So being dedicated to something, especially with basketball, means day in and day out, regardless of the results, regardless if I'm 50 for 50 or 0 for 50, I'm excited to get back to it the next day, right? Because I know at the end of it all, it's going to make me a better person, right?
I think the question is why you're doing it.
Mm-hmm,
You know what I mean? What is your end goal for playing at a high level? Is it to be seen by others, to almost like be notified or have notoriety of being the best on the court so you can feel some kind of way? Or is it just like that inner conflict with yourself? Or is it just an inner willingness to compete at a high level to just beat everybody in their game? You got to ask yourself why you're doing it.
Good
So
point.
why is it that you're doing it?
Good point. Well, I mean, I think you'll see a lot of the times I'm very competitive, and I'm just a dog, and that comes within me, right? I can't make anyone else a dog. I can't make you, it's literally like that. I can't make you put on that game face and want to come out with as many wins as possible. But that's what I want to do, right? And I find myself gravitating to what I'm good at, right? Do what you're good at and do a lot of that. And I'm good at basketball because I've trained myself, but also I have a natural instinct. I have skills that are already in me that I just have to refine, right? So welcome to the Refined Thinkers Association, where we teach you how to be refined in the things you do. And basketball is one of the things I am good at, and I've refined those skills. So my why is because I want to cook, I want to crush, I want to kill, I want to step on your neck.
Yeah.
Quite literally, I
Warrior
want.
mentality.
Yeah, I want to demoralize you.
Yeah.
Why? Because I know I can.
That's right.
How do I know that? Because I've done it before. And why do I want to keep doing it? Because it's fun.
Yeah.
It's fun to be good at stuff.
That's right.
Right?
Yeah.
So that's why. That's my why.
Can you translate those skill sets to something else in life, and what would you translate it into?
You can translate those skill sets to anything in life. The reason I say that is because life is just a sequence of events that repeats over and over again. It's a sequence of challenges and successes.
That's right.
All in different scenarios, different environments, maybe with different people. So this is what happens. You go on a journey of life and you find an obstacle. The challenge is what? Overcoming that.
Overcoming it. That's right.
Now, what skills do you have to overcome? Similar to basketball or being dedicated to anything, you have to try over and over again.
You have to accept failure as well.
You have
Most
to accept
importantly,
it.
You have to want to fail, quite honestly.
Right.
And once you do, you have to learn from that.
That's right.
Resilience, discipline, that perseverance, that dog mentality.
Yeah.
That's all applicable to life.
That's right.
Right? So that's how it kind of works. Basketball is a teacher of life, but life is a teacher of obstacles and overcoming that.
That's right. What's some of the obstacles you faced that kind of like made you kind of waver, if at all?
Waver. Yeah, man. I mean, obstacles are just, they come in different shapes and sizes. You know.
On the court, that is.
Oh, on the court. Well, yeah. Well, first off, like I'm short.
Okay.
I'm above average height. I'm 5'6", so that's an innate obstacle. That's a genetic thing, right? And granted, who do you see in the NBA? Who do you see playing
Tall
at higher
people.
level? Tall people.
That's right.
I'm a point guard. The average height for a point guard in the NBA is probably 6'3".
6'2", 6'3", yeah.
Crazy. So that's a challenge I face. And sometimes it makes you want to waver. But you know what the strong amongst us do? You know what we do?
What's that?
We don't look at it as an obstacle.
Right.
We look at it as a challenge.
That's right.
And the challenge that's worth overcoming. And only the 1%ers can then find a way to be so effective that you overcome it, that people no longer see that weakness within you. Right?
Right.
And that's pertaining to basketball. Nobody looks at me and is like, oh, he's 5'6", don't worry about him. As soon as I touch the ball, double team him!
Right.
Double him! Why? I'm only 5'6", because I'm working, bro. So,
Underestimation kind of works in your favor as well.
it really does. Yeah.
Yeah.
And also, just another thing is persistence. Just being able to understand not every day is going to be your day.
That's right.
You're not going to wake up and crush them every day.
Yeah.
Right.
But hey, granted, that mindset's still the same.
Sometimes you need that little hate to kind of get you started. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Yeah.
It could be hate from other people, or it could be hate from the outcome that you're, the immediate
The possibility of not really performing at your best.
outcome. Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe you're not as sharp that day. Maybe your shot's not as wet. Maybe your dribbling isn't as intact. Maybe your teammates aren't cohesively on the same team. But does that mean you quit?
Of course not.
Of course not. That means you try another strategy and you come back again.
Yeah.
Right? Same with life.
You ever been on a team where you were just absolutely getting destroyed by your opponent? Like you guys are just like 8-1. You guys are just
Man, it being cooked. Yeah, all the time, and it's demoralizing.
It super is. Yeah.
It is.
Yeah.
And what does that make you feel? It makes you feel inferior.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing I try to teach is it's not necessarily you. It could be all the factors combined with you.
That's right.
But the greatest thing you can have is the ability to control what you can control.
So I got a question for you real quick. So having the ability to be able to control what you can and be able to have an impact on your team, what leadership approach would you have to a team? It could be related to basketball or just in general.
Right.
What leadership approach would you have if your team is, in a sense, losing?
Right. That's a great question,
How would
man.
you pull them out of that, that deep hole of depression?
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah, that's what it is.
Yes, that's what
Yeah.
it seems
Yeah,
like.
yeah.
That's what it feels like. And this is how I answer that question. All the greatest leaders are not necessarily the biggest dictators.
Mm-hmm.
Being a leader means you understand that active listening is very, very essential. So that could be verbal or non-verbal cues.
Right.
So I train my guys. Hey, we're going to work on our verbal orientation and we're going to work on our non-verbal orientation. If something's not going right, I'm not like this.
Right.
I'm like this. Think back to the day, okay, we're losing. Think back to the day we won by 80. Keep that same posture and that same mindset.
Right.
So I actively pay attention, actively listen. And then 2, put the aces in their places. That's to say, I know what you're really good at. Don't go out of bounds. Stay in your lane and do that really well. Do your job and watch it all, the pieces. It's like a car. All the pieces have to do one function to make it rotate.
That's right.
Very true.
Boom.
Yeah.
And then 3, lead by example. Because granted, I could say as much as I want to.
Right.
But if I'm sloughing, hey, they're going to slough too.
That's right.
If your action's not backing up your words, then yeah.
Where your
They're not
opponent
gonna
sees that. They see the demoralization on your faces.
Right, man.
They see your heads hanging low.
Yeah.
And they feel like, hey, we got him now. Yeah. So,
Yeah, good point.
absolutely, yeah.
Good